Welcome back to another episode of the Harvey Hour. My name is Nathan Harvey, and as always, I'm joined alongside my dad, Stephen Harvey. How are we doing today?
I'm glad it's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Friday fun day. We got a lot packed on the show today, but let's begin, as you can see the topic. We're going to start off with last night's game, Thursday Night Football. I don't know what it is with Thursday Night Football nowadays, but there's been 2 concussions so far, and it's just been, each game has not been that good at all. But don't worry, next Thursday, guess who's playing? The Commanders and the Bears.
Oh boy!
So that's going to be
an exciting game.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a matchup. But let's begin with last night's game. Of course, Thursday Night Football, Broncos, Colts, both teams are at the bottom when it comes to points scored per game. And last night was no different because each of these teams scored a combined total of 21 points. But Stephon Gilmore, late in the game, late in overtime, was able to deflect Russell Wilson's pass to Courtland Sutton and actually had a game-saving interception late in the fourth quarter. They were in the red zone, and right now the Broncos have the worst red zone touchdown percentage in the league and the worst red zone percentage, period. But what did you think of this pretty awful game that the Colts ended up winning finally late in overtime?
Awful. I picked the Broncos to win. The Colts have every game I've lost when the Colts have played. If I pick them, they lose. If I pick the other team, they win. So they should gauge their season by the way I go, because I've been 100% wrong on them the whole year so far. And I don't know, the Broncos, they've got a good defense, but their offense, come on. Even with Russell Wilson, where's he? What's happened to him? He's not playing well. And they keep saying, well, it's taking time for the offense to click in. Well, it's time, okay? You played 5 games now. Can't score a touchdown, only a few field goals. Very bad, very poor.
This is the first time in NFL history where 2 quarterbacks with 4+ Pro Bowls each have not scored a single touchdown in the game. You did choose the Broncos. They were 3-point favorites. They turned to 3.5 points Thursday. We decided to choose the odds early Thursday, so the odds didn't change. I did choose the Colts to win. They were the underdogs. I just felt like, you know what? The offense on the Broncos is so bad. It's so bad. It can't score any touchdowns.
And you have Melvin Gordon. He can't hang on to the ball.
Right, he's a fumble issue.
Did he fumble last night?
No, I don't think he did.
He was hanging on to the ball with 2 hands.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Because he knows he has a fumble issue.
There's no excuse for them to lose that game last night, right? Jonathan Taylor wasn't playing.
Correct.
They were playing at home.
Yep.
And they have their fans. It's a very supportive fan base.
Not after that game. They were booing them.
Yeah, well,
they were booing them.
They had no excuse to lose that game. That's really bad. I think that their head coach, he's in over his head.
Absolutely. Nathaniel Hackett looks horrible. At least, okay, I would understand if the defense is bad because Nathaniel Hackett is an offensive head coach. Well, at least get your side of the ball correct.
Right.
Your offense is sluggish. It's terrible. Your defense is good enough to win games, but Russell Wilson
defense is very good.
No, the defense is very good.
They held the 49ers to 10 points.
10 points, yeah. So I'm taking a look at this game, and I'm like, what is going on? I mean, the last throw in the game, the breakup by Stephon Gilmore. KJ Hamler he ran an inside route. It was 4th and 1 at like the 2-yard line or something like that. 4th and 1, 2-yard line. Any reasonable person would say, okay, you have Melvin Gordon, who's a running back, obviously, and Russell Wilson, who is a mobile-ish quarterback. He used to be mobile very early on in his career. Run the damn ball. And Richard Sherman had flashbacks to Super Bowl 49, where Pete Carroll decided not to run the football against the Patriots, and Russell Wilson threw an interception. And Russell Wilson clearly hasn't learned from his mistakes yet because he decided to pass the ball without looking to anyone else. KJ Hamler ran a drag route up the seam, right to the middle of the field, wide open the entire time. He could have walked in. Russell Wilson didn't even look his way because he already predetermined that he was going to throw to Courtland Sutton no matter who was open. The entire right side of the field could be wide open, but he was only focusing on Courtland Sutton, and that's who he threw to. And Stephon Gilmore made a great play on the ball. I tweeted this. This was the ugliest game of football I have ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
My 19 years of living. This was the ugliest football I have ever seen. I got up, turned the game off, did anything else to try to, enjoy my time. I come back, it's the same thing. Matt Ryan, his arm strength seems to have decreased to basically 0 now. He was having a tough time getting 6-yard passes out. Thank God for, I think his name is Alec Pierce. I think he's a rookie for the Colts. He was making catches where it looks like the ball got deflected, but it looks like it got deflected right into his arms. He made a couple great catches. I think he had like 80 yards on the day. But this was just a horrible game. It was painful to watch. You had Broncos fans leaving once it hit overtime. They weren't even there to see if their team could win. There were constant boos from the get-go. Every mistake, the entire crowd just started booing. They hate Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, just his numbers have declined over the course of time. But we'll see how. Yes, it is a new system. It is a new head coach. It's a rookie head coach. So, do I think Russell Wilson can get to a place where they can go, 10-7? Not with the way they're playing. Not with averaging like 16 points a game. You ain't gonna get there.
They've already lost 3 games.
They've already lost 3 games. Yeah. So I just did this team. I had them making the playoffs. I have no clue at this point now. I may need to add another team into the playoffs. And same with the Colts.
They have to turn it around big time soon.
Yeah.
Like the next game, they've got to score at least 2 or 3 touchdowns.
And with the way they're playing, that's gonna be hard for them to do.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that. But it's very, very difficult watching this game. But it's, it was a cripple. The worst part about it is that the defense beat the living crap out of Matt Ryan. 6 sacks, 50 yards yardage lost due to sacks.
Yeah.
The Colts offensive line was literally like a pick-em. Who's going here? They're scrambling different pieces of the offensive line. They had a rookie left tackle who had like 5 penalties, 4 holding calls, something like that. So he was getting destroyed on penalties and destroyed in pass coverage. But it's just bad. Like both these teams are pitiful.
The Colts are 2-3 now, right?
The Colts are 3-2. I think. Oh no, sorry, 2-1 because they had the tie. 2-1. Yes. Yeah. So both these teams are bad. Each quarterback. I think I looked up the QBR scale of 0 to 100. It basically it takes into account the strength of the defense, the matchups, everything like that. Take a wild guess. 0 to 100. How would you rate them out of 0 to 100?
What?
QBR. Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson. How would you rate their QBRs? What do you think? Because I know the numbers. I think off the top of my head. I know at least the range of
35 and 40.
Oof, you're generous. Russell Wilson, 15.
15. Wow.
Matt Ryan, 20.
Wow.
It was bad. It was very, very bad. Each quarterback did not throw a touchdown, as we said. 4 interceptions, and the ugliest interception. Russell Wilson's deep ball is no longer there. He just can't get it out. There was I think it might have been his first interception. He had a little bit of pressure, but he backed up on his back foot. He lofted it up. It went 15 yards over the guy's head. It was horrible. The accuracy just isn't there. And then you had the interception at the very end of the 4th quarter in the end zone. You don't learn from your mistakes. You got to run the football. You have 1 yard to get. 1 yard. QB sneak it if you have to. You decide to pass the ball? The Broncos are in trouble. The Broncos are. When you're booing your own fan base since like week 2, you know you're in trouble. And Russell Wilson says he'll get it together and hopefully have a great comeback because it'll be a great story and everything like that.
You better hurry.
I see zero light at the end of the tunnel for the Broncos. Let's move on to our next topic, though. We got some basketball news. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole got into a little bit of an altercation with Draymond Green throwing a sucker punch into Jordan Poole's jaw. TMZ actually was able to obtain the video. I don't know how they obtained it. The Warriors don't know how they obtained the video. We have the video here. It shows right now Draymond Green's on the right. You can see right there. Jordan Poole's in the top left of that gray jersey. And they're just talking throughout practice. The thing that shocks me most is that the teammates right in front, so Steph Curry's right there at the bottom, and the rest of the team, they don't even care that this is happening. They're just looking on. They're not worrying about it. Then Draymond Green comes over. They're talking, and then all of a sudden, you begin to face a push from Jordan Poole, and then bam, right in Jordan Poole's face. Draymond Green throws a punch. It's a pretty mean punch. This is in slow motion. Boom.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Apparently, no sustained injury for Jordan Poole, but this is bad. So
It's ridiculous.
Is this a bad sign for the Warriors when they're trying to repeat after last year? And what does this mean for Draymond Green going forward?
Well, Draymond Green's had his issues over the years, right?
Yeah.
He's been in trouble on and off. He's a head case. He gets upset easily. He gets a lot of flagrant fouls, and he gets in trouble with the refs because he can't shut his mouth. So I'm not surprised he did something like that, actually. Whether it has much impact on the Warriors, I don't know. They kind of expect this kind of behavior from him, I think. And I'm sure he and Jordan Poole, I don't know how they get beyond that, For Poole, if I were Poole, he looked like he was just standing over there not doing anything. I don't know what the discussion was there. But if I were Poole, I don't think I'd ever speak to him again. I think that's I don't know how you get beyond that.
Right, it's like
it's ridiculous.
How do you stay teammates after one of your teammates just threw a
something
punch
like
at
that? Somebody who really hit you hard.
Yeah,
he nailed him.
Yeah,
right?
it was a pretty good land on it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like, how do you stay teammates?
Right.
But it has happened in some cases where you had Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan punched him in the nose. I think he broke his nose, and they were able to still get past that. And I think they won a couple championships in the process. But this is Draymond Green's character. Draymond Green has always been this, super high motor, high aggressive, get in the face of players, talk back to the refs and everything like that. A lot of technical fouls, like you said. He's a very, very aggressive player, and I feel like, maybe this is a case where Jordan Poole got a little bit too much of himself. I'm not blaming Jordan Poole at all, but Draymond Green's mindset could be like, well, the origins of this championship team, this culture, starts with me. It starts with me, Steph, and Clay. This is the trio that we're here. We made the culture. We built this culture up. You're coming by, and maybe Jordan Poole was a little bit feeling himself, saying, "Well, look at me. Maybe I could be part of this big three now." Draymond Green, you're a triple single. You're averaging, not even a double-double, not 10 points, not 10 rebounds, no nothing. You're kind of just, a bully on the court, not really doing much. You're like a glorified Pat Beverly. You're just an irritant at this point. But this is bad. And
what is Green's contract? I thought he demanded a max contract.
Right. This is last year with the Warriors, so I think this could be.
So he didn't get the max contract. He's playing out his contract.
Well, he's asking for one for next year. Otherwise, he said he's going to take his talents next year.
He thinks he's going to get it, behaving like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Maybe he's pushing for a contract.
Play it out. He's done.
Could be.
He's done with them.
But the question is, though, does he have value outside of the Warriors? Because remember, he's a triple single. He doesn't do much. His 3-point percentage was under 30%.
He probably won't get a max elsewhere.
Yes, but I mean, like, his value is the highest on the Warriors because the Warriors know how to use him effectively.
Yeah, I think he'd get some other team will pick him up because he has the playoff experience and the championship experience. That's important. That's worth something. Although his skills seem to have eroded some, and his head seems to have eroded too.
He hasn't come out with an official statement about what's happened yet, which, I mean, you got to say something to this. But you got to say something about what happened, what transpired.
Everybody, the video's out there for everyone to see.
And the Warriors are looking at internal, they're deciding what to do, at least with Draymond Green. The league doesn't want to get involved with this. And we didn't talk about it on the show, but Aaron Donald, in a Bengals practice, he pulled a Myles Garrett and started throwing helmets. He was bashing people, or trying to bash people. He was swinging helmets around. The league didn't get involved with that because it's a practice. The league doesn't get involved when it comes to, behavior within practices. This is the same thing here. The NBA is not going to get involved in saying, Draymond Green, you're out for the first month of the year. They're not going to say that. The Warriors, on the other hand, will probably and should take action against it and say, Draymond, we got to do something with you. I don't think he'll go completely, just scot-free. I think, but the question is, though, will they I mean, what are you going to suspend him for preseason games? What's that going to do for you? But it's a question of what are the Warriors going to do to make it justified. I mean,
I would think they have to discipline him for something like that. How can they let something like that go?
Well, it could be that. It could be that they discipline him, meaning you're going to miss the first 2 weeks of the year, like the regular season, or it could be that the public, like obviously, this leaks somehow. And usually if something like this is leaked, they want it out somehow. So this could just be public.
Could be.
This could just be public humiliation and public, just disgrace on the part of the Warriors getting this out.
He should be heavily fined.
Well,
by the Warriors themselves.
Okay. Now, I mean, I would say so. I mean, thank God there was no sustained injury.
Yeah.
Because imagine that. You have an injured, you injured your own guy. So the Bulls had that issue. I think Bobby Portis injured what's his name? It was a center. I'm not sure it was a center who I think broke his nose or something after they got into an altercation, and something I think it was like a fine and maybe a suspension for Bobby Portis. But you gotta do something if you're the Warriors here. I mean,
yeah. They'll have to do something. We'll have to wait and see.
I think if TMZ didn't get this video, they might be able to do something just internally and not say, okay, we're coming out with saying Draymond Green suspended for something. And now we have proof of what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like, oh,
they
yeah.
have to do something because it's not fair to the other players if they don't.
Right. No, absolutely. If the video didn't come out, they could maybe, throw it on the rug by saying, well, it wasn't exactly a punch. He didn't hit him that hard. It didn't really connect. We had the video now. Oh, that connected. Oh, yeah.
Even if it didn't, he threw a punch at him.
Right. No, but I'm saying like the significance of it doesn't need to be that high. But now that we have the video out, you saw what I saw. That's a pretty bad punch.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole took it though, but Draymond Green needs to get his act together because it's not even that it's like in the heat of competition.
I can't believe the other players didn't run over. They just kind of looked.
Clay at
it was the coaches.
You could see. I don't know. Yeah, we still. It's gonna. Here, let's see if I can
watch this. The players are not even paying attention.
Here, at the very end, Clay comes over. You can see him in the bottom left. At the very very end, he punches it, and then Clay comes over right about.
Yeah, but look at the other players just standing there.
Barely, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's the crazy thing. At the very very beginning, look at this. All the players just waiting out here. They're not even caring. Steph's down there. Andrew Wiggins, I see. They're just chilling.
Yeah.
There's verbal altercations going on at the top, and they're just like, yeah, this is what Draymond is. This is what happens. And at the very end, when Draymond throws the punch, you don't see them running over to help him. It's more like the coaching staff. And then boom, that is Draymond Green can throw a punch.
Yeah.
That hurt. Oh my God. That is a fear. Oh my, that was a hell of a punch.
Yeah.
But this is bad. It's
bad. Very bad.
I just don't know what you do with Draymond. Like, what are they gonna do? Are they not gonna play on the floor at the same time? But
I don't know. Maybe they get rid of him.
Who wants that kind of a player? You're gonna explode on your own team?
It's an expiring contract,
and that too. It's definitely something. It's definitely something. All right, we're going to talk a little bit baseball for a little while. Breaking news. This happened earlier this week. Actually, when we made the show on Tuesday, about an hour after the show concluded, Judge did hit his 62nd home run to pass Roger Maris for the most home runs in the American League. So are you surprised that the record got broken, and what does this mean for Judge down the line?
Judge had a fantastic season, right? He's the MVP. And his numbers are outstanding, right? Record numbers. Did he win the batting title too? He was close.
He was
close.
tied with someone for the batting average, I think. I don't know if that counts.
He had the RBIs and the home runs, but I don't know about the average.
If you tie for first, does that mean you claim the title? Because he was tied for first.
He was tied. Well, season is over now?
Season's over,
yeah. Yep. So we should know. We should know whether he
I assume
got
so.
It or not. So I don't know that he hit 62, right? That's it. 62. He didn't get more than that.
Not more than 62.
And did you see the 62nd one?
I did see it. Yeah.
And did they throw him the ball, or was it a fastball or?
Oh no, it was like right down the middle.
Down the middle.
But it was like a curveball that didn't break. Or it was a breaking ball that didn't quite break, and it just hooked right into the middle of the plate and just Judge bombed it.
Yeah.
And I think if this is it might have been the 61st. I don't know if it's the 62nd, but one of the fans jumped down into the bullpen in case they bobbled it and it dropped right there so he can get it. It landed in the stands though. Someone caught it, but a fan jumped down into the bullpen to see if he can get it off the ricochet. But are you surprised that he got it all? Because for like. I know this is crazy.
Once he got into the 50s, I thought, and with so much many games left, I thought he had a good chance for it.
It was coming up to like 5, 6. I think it was 5 games, and he was at 61. I'm like, I made a bet. It was like a 20.
Red Sox didn't give it up. They didn't win a game against them, but they didn't give up that home run.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had a little bit of hope because it was 5 games left. He hasn't hit a home run in a little while. I was like, maybe. But then, I saw it was the first. I think it was the leadoff hit too.
Yeah.
Judge got out there, swung, hit a home run. So I'm not surprised that Judge broke the record just because he had a fantastic year.
Fabulous.
The meaning for Judge is that this was a contract year. So depending on how much the Yankees can afford to pay him, my guess is we're looking at potentially a record-breaking deal.
Yeah, well, the Yankees can afford to pay whatever they want to pay. Whatever they have an unlimited ability to pay.
Yeah,
but they're not going to. I'd be surprised if they give him the contract that he wants. I think that and for him, I mean, he's not the youngest player, right? He kind of bloomed a little late, and so I don't know. I think it will be interesting to see. I don't think they're going to give him a $500 million contract.
Well,
no way.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what Judge age is, but I think he's in his 30s now. He might be 32 years old.
Yeah.
So my guess is he's...
So in 10 years, right? 42 years old?
Right.
He's not going to have it.
But I could potentially be looking at like a 6-year deal maybe.
But he's not going to go for that. He's going to want at least a 10-year deal with somebody.
Yeah, but you think...
And he'll get it. He'll get it from somebody besides the Yankees, I think. Right?
Not at his age. He's looking for 10 years. Yeah. I'm not sure he's going to be looking for 10 years.
Well, they already offered him over $200 million, and he rejected it. So.
Well, no, he might be just going for that bag now. I don't think he should chase it for years. I think he's going for money. Because, I mean, he just had a record-breaking season.
How much do you think he would get for 6 years then?
I'm not sure what the highest salary is per year.
$300 million? $50 million a year?
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Is there any baseball players that are making $50 million a year?
I think Mike Trout's the biggest deal. It might have been Mookie Betts that had the biggest deal.
Mookie Betts is a $300 million deal.
It's like a 12-year, $300 million deal or something
50.
like that. No. But, I mean, what else? What's he like? He's obviously, I think, in my eyes, he's the home run king because, as we know, I don't think anything's been confirmed yet. He did this clean, no steroids. So he's the home run king because everyone above him, the home run race, McGuire, Sosa, each doing steroids. Barry Bonds, 73 home runs, steroids. So he is really the home run king. And I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, he had his 61st on the 61st anniversary of Maris's 60th. It was something crazy.
Really?
It was something crazy like that. I'm not sure if it was exactly that, but it was something like that.
I'm happy for him. I like Aaron Judge, even though he plays for the Yankees.
No, I mean, you have to appreciate.
Too bad he plays for the Yankees. He was with the Red Sox. They could have had him if they'd been smart and hung on to him.
Yeah, you should have to appreciate the player. You have to appreciate, a record just got broken.
He's a gentleman, too. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
he seems like a very good guy.
Yeah, he seems like a very, very nice guy. I mean, we had first-hand experience of that. When you're in the scenario of where history is being made, no matter what team it is, what player it is, generally, my guess would be 9 times out of 10, everyone appreciates it. We were at the front of that. Knicks, Warriors, Steph hits the 3, breaks the record, entire Madison Square Garden, which was obviously mostly Knicks fans. Everyone was cheering, clapping, everything. So I mean, it's history being made, and you should have to appreciate it. So I'm very happy for Judge. He deserves it. He goes out on a contract year, puts up 62 home runs. I think he batted over 300. It was just a hell of a year.
130 RBIs, something like that. Yeah. Really something. Yeah, fantastic year. You don't have that year very often.
It might have been the RBIs. I think they might
once a career probably.
Oh, absolutely. All right, we're gonna stick with baseball. We got more baseball going. We're gonna choose our MLB postseason predictions.
Oh boy.
I think I will actually go first this time because usually we go you first. I know, shocking. This was the pick I had. I think like a month ago. I had my brother on and we talked about it. It's been like 3-4 weeks since that. But I said I think the Mets are going to make it all the way. And recently, Scherzer, Bassett, and DeGrom have looked horrible. But ever heard of a comeback? I have. So let's break it down. So Phillies, Cardinals, Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina.
He got his 700th home run.
He got his 700th home run. And
did he get more than that, or did he just hit 700?
I think it's 704, I think.
Really?
Yeah, 703, 704. Yadier Molina, and I believe, is it Adam Wainwright? I think it's Adam Wainwright. They had like the most games pitcher and catcher in MLB history. They broke that recently. So I'm going on the side of history here. I say they beat the Phillies. I don't think that's like that hard to do. The Phillies aren't a fantastic team. I think the Cardinals are significantly better. I have them winning. And I have them upsetting the Braves. I just think, once again, erring on the side of history. I like a story here. I like a story. I mean, yes.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It could be absurd. And you know what? You're probably right. People are saying, yo, there's no way the Braves are going to lose to the Cardinals. Hey, stranger things have happened. We had Joe Burrow get sacked 70 times and lead. It could have won the Super Bowl. So, stranger things have happened. You know, you had the Atlanta Braves going on a phenomenal post-All-Star break year last year and win the World Series. So, stranger things have definitely happened. So I have the Cardinals upsetting the Braves. Let's go to this one. This one is probably the more shocking one in the Mets-Dodgers. I do have the Mets being the Padres, but I am a little bit nervous about that because the Padres seem to do a number on the Mets, but the Mets are at home. The Mets play better at home. They're home for 3 games for this wild card series. I have them winning, and they move on. And then the Dodgers. I think at this point, Max Scherzer, Jacob deGrom, Bassett, all the pitchers will be in some sort of rhythm. And plus, you have Edwin Diaz, who has the greatest walkout anthem I probably have ever heard. So I have a feeling. And then you had Pete Alonso go off. I think he also had 130 RBIs this year. So I'm sticking to my guns. Mets are making it. And then Mets, Cardinals, I say this goes, I think this is a best of 7, if I'm not mistaken. Best of 7. I say this goes 7. Mets win 4-3. I said the Mets make it to the World Series. Let's go to the AL. We start with the NL. Let's go to the AL. Rays, Indians, or Guardians at this point. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has great pitching. They have a great farm system. They have also great hitting. I think they take this. I think they probably take this game. I don't know if they'll sweep. I think this might go 3 out of the 3 games, but I say the Rays win. Seattle, congratulations to Seattle. I think they had the longest playoff drought in MLB history. I think it's like 17 years straight or something. It was a crazy record. They finally broke it. But I think the Blue Jays are just the better team. I'll take them to win and move on. And then the Astros, Blue Jays, I think this is pretty much given. The Astros right now, they have over 100 wins this year. I think they're probably next to the Dodgers. Obviously, I think they're the best team in the MLB. I think they'll beat the Blue Jays. And then the Yankees, Rays. The Rays seem to have a number on the Yankees this year. There are a lot of games where the Yankees are definitely going to win this, and then the Rays at them winning 3 out of the 4 games, something like that. So I think this could happen again. I think the Rays have the Yankees number in some aspects of it. I'll take the Yankees to lose. Rays move on, and then the Astros beat the Rays. The Astros, once again, I think one of the best teams in the MLB. And then old National League rivals. Astros, Mets in the World Series. My first game, a little bit of a history lesson. My first game I've ever seen, baseball game I've ever seen, was in Shea Stadium. Mets, Astros. I forgot who won. I know there was a couple home runs that game because I was high-fiving fellow Mets fans. But I'll take the Mets to win here. I have to stick with my pick. It's probably a wrong pick, and I'm probably, talking out of left field over here, but I got to stay consistent here. But yeah, I have the Mets winning the World Series. I don't know how many games. I don't know whether this gets ugly, whether this gets good. I'm not sure. But let's move on to your picks. Let's see what you got going.
Okay, well, we agree on some and not on others. So,
right.
Starting with the American League, I like Cleveland to beat Tampa Bay. I think they have Terry Francona. I think that's a difference maker. They have what's his name? The third baseman.
Santana?
No, for Cleveland.
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez, a great year, right? And Cleveland has very good pitching.
Yes.
Tampa Bay has good pitching, but Cleveland has very good pitching. I think they'll find a way to beat Tampa Bay. But then I think the Yankees are going to beat Cleveland and make it to the ALCS. Seattle, good for them. They finally got into the playoffs. That's good, but I don't think they got enough to beat Toronto. Toronto's got some great hitters, right? And their pitching can be good too. But, this is Vladimir Guerrero's opportunity here. Finally gets into the playoffs. He's got to do some damage, right? And he's capable of it. Houston's going to be too much for Toronto. Houston's on a mission. They made it to the World Series last year and didn't win it. Dusty Baker hasn't won a World Series. I'm sure he's very disappointed. Here he gets another chance. I think that players will get him to the World Series. So on the National League side, Philadelphia, they got some bats, right? Schwarber's had a great year.
Yeah.
Right? But St. Louis has Pujols. Right?
He seems to be on a mission
he's
too.
on a mission too, right? and he got the 700th home run and then some. So I think if he comes alive here in the playoffs, I see St. Louis beating Philadelphia. And then San Diego, I think it's San Diego. They went out and got Soto. That was good, but he hasn't done much for him, right? And then Tatis, he got suspended.
Yep.
That's made a difference. I think the Mets can take them. Plus, the Mets will have the home field advantage for this, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All 3 games.
Yeah. So then in the divisional series, I think Atlanta's too much for St. Louis. Unfortunately, I like St. Louis, but Atlanta won the World Series last year. So I think they're going to make it to the NLCS. I think the Mets have had a really good year. This is their opportunity. I think they make it to the divisional series, but I don't think they can knock off L.A. L.A.'s got all-stars at every position.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, and they have Freddie Freeman, Justin Turner.
Yep.
Justin Turner, he's great. Who's their shortstop? Kyle. They have a Turner. He's a Turner too.
Trey
Turner.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Clayton Kershaw. They have Urias.
Yeah, they should win it. They have the players to do it.
If I'm not mistaken, they also picked up Craig Kimbrell for closing.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. They stopped him being the closer though because he wasn't doing so well. But I think they make it to the LA's going to beat Atlanta in the NLCS, even though Atlanta won the World Series last year. I think it'll be close, but I think the Dodgers are going to make it. And then in the World Series,
the old rivals. These guys played a number of years ago.
Yeah, I think Houston, LA is going to be a great World Series. I think that Houston does it just because they didn't make it last year. I think they're going to remember that, and they're not going to let it happen again.
Okay.
So it's Houston for me.
Yeah, I got New York. I got to stick with my team. I got to stick with New York. You know, I'm not a New York fan in a lot of sports, but you know, when it comes to baseball, I have an AL team and I have an NL team. The Red Sox sadly couldn't make it here.
Now your brother will be happy.
I'm definitely sure. I mean, I already told him he thinks I'm crazy for choosing them, but you know what? I gotta stay consistent. We're gonna take a very, very quick break. We got a lot more planned. We got Cadence game. We're bringing that back. It's been like almost 6 months since the last time we did that. We got our Week 5 predictions, and we got my Harvey hot hand to round it out. We'll be back in just 30 seconds.
Introducing video podcasts on Spotify.
Transform your storytelling into a show everyone can watch
or listen to.
Easily upload your video through Anchor, Spotify's free podcast creation tool.
So whether you're showing off a new recipe,
interviewing an exclusive guest,
or uncovering the next mystery,
you can now reach a whole new audience with Spotify.
Podcasting just became more than audio.
Create with Anchor, watch on Spotify.
Welcome back to the Harvey Hour. My name's Nathan Harvey, and as always, I'm joined alongside my dad, Stephen Harvey. Let's move on to our next topic right now. We did the Cadence game early.
It's hard. I never do well with this.
You weren't a part of this. You were feeling under the weather that day. We had Allison Harvey, my aunt, and my brother John Harvey in studio, I guess you could call this. They didn't do as well as I would have hoped, but hopefully you can do better.
Don't count on it.
So right now we have five. I'm going to give right now. It's obviously quarterbacks. 5 quarterbacks giving out their cadence, and I will throw one in here. This you know what? We'll see. Let's go to our first one. This is our first cadence call.
Ziggy, they go wide. Blue 80, my son. Wrong. Go F. Blue 30, Blue 37.
I will give hints.
Okay. I need a hint.
I want you to take a guess first. I can also replay it if you want to hear it again.
Yeah, play one more.
You want to play it again?
Ziggy, they go wide. Blue 80, my son. Wrong. Go F. Blue 30, Blue 37.
I'll give you an easy hint and then we'll work our way down. AFC,
huh?
I'll give you another hint.
Justin Herbert.
No, I'll give you another hint. Is now retired. Does not play anymore. I
thought this was the current.
I made this list when it was current. So just think about that. I made this in June. I think he was. Yeah, I know. This player is retired. Retired in the last 5 years. Yeah. So it's a recent retiree, AFC quarterback. So just go down a list of all AFC quarterbacks that retired, and then we'll.
I can't. I don't. Peyton Manning.
Nope.
No.
He doesn't have that southern accent that Peyton Manning does. You'd probably hear Omaha if that was the case.
Right. I would have known it then.
This team right now looks like they're in shambles.
Oh yeah.
And he also fell off a cliff at the end of his career. So Peyton Manning actually would be a decent guess.
Yeah. AFC. Oh, Ben Roethlisberger.
Indeed, it was Big Ben.
Yeah, I got it.
It was Big Ben. Okay, let's move on to our next quarterback here.
380, you're shot. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Where we going, Phil? 180, we're shot. 380, hey, alert, 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 alert.
Red alert.
Changing the play 8 times. I'm telling you right now,
One more time.
for the viewers, this is an old picture. Like I said, this
Now, is this player?
he still plays. He still plays.
380, you're shot. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Where we going, Phil? 180, we're shot. 380, hey, alert, 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 alert.
Red alert.
120,
NFC or AFC?
NFC.
NFC. Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Oh my God, you got it. Oh, that's all right. No, wrong picture. That's Jimmy G. But no, you're all right. Carson Wentz on the last one.
You don't have a picture of him. Huh?
No, we do. It's just I gotta go through the. I'm not sure if I have the. Well, let's see. Yeah, Jimmy. We'll do Jimmy G's right now. Let's see if you can guess if it is Jimmy G.
118. Hey, Lasso. 118.
This is Jimmy G, by the way.
Hey, Cam.
I thought that Tom Brady was the 118.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure he says it, but
Yeah.
coming from the same system, that is Jimmy G.
Yeah.
This one, I'm actually not too sure who this is. I could bring it up though. I could see who this is. If I could actually see it. Here we go. Let's move on to the next one. This one actually might be Carson Wentz. Let's see the next one. This is the next quarterback.
Ready, set. Diamond, 75, they go 54 Lincoln. Hey, easy, reload. 36 is the mic. Ready, set.
He didn't say much.
You want to replay it?
Yeah.
All right, let's replay this next quarterback.
Ready, set. Diamond, 75, they go 54 Lincoln. Hey, easy, reload. 36 is the mic. Ready, set.
Okay. AFC or NFC?
AFC quarterback.
Tua.
No. His last season that he played.
Oh, he doesn't playing anymore?
No. He's technically an active quarterback.
Oh, yeah?
Last,
He's not a star.
Last season he started. He threw for 4,900 yards.
Wow.
And used to be a top 5 quarterback in the league.
He's not starting this year.
He's not starting this year. Yes. At this current time, he is not starting.
And he's an AFC backup now?
I never said backup. He's not starting at this very moment. He is an AFC quarterback. Has been an AFC quarterback. Actually, yes, AFC quarterback. I want to make sure I got this right. I do know who this is.
He threw for 4,900 yards last year.
The last year he started, he threw for 4,900 yards. I can replay it one more time if you want.
No, that's not going to help me. Oh. I should know this.
Just think about the hints I'm giving you.
I know. Yeah.
The last year he started, he threw for 4,900 yards,
Yeah.
and at this current moment, he is not starting in the NFL, but he is a starting quarterback.
Yeah. Joe Flacco.
No. You could also give up. I'm not going to say.
I give up.
You give up? Deshaun Watson.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. Who we got going? I think this one is this person.
Hey, alert.
Okay.
Hey, roll it back.
Don't worry about the picture. That's Carson Wentz. The Carson Wentz from before. This is the picture we're looking at. I'll replay the audio.
Hey, back. Roll it back. Blue 80. Run, shot.
Looks like a mobile quarterback.
Fair observation.
Lamar.
No. Right conference.
Let's see who's in that conference.
Well,
Joe Burrow.
First of all, conference AFC, NFC, not division. You're thinking division. Conference, AFC.
AFC conference, yeah.
If you want, I can give you another hint.
Yeah.
9-time Pro Bowler.
Oh, boy. 9-time Pro Bowl.
So he's a great quarterback.
AFC. 9-time Pro Bowler.
Most, it might have been second, or it might, I think it's the most.
It's Matthew Stafford.
Highest winning, well, first of all, that's NFC.
Oh, yeah.
Highest winning percentage in 10 years with a player and head coach. In 10 years, they had the highest winning percentage in their first 10 years. I'm pretty sure. It might have been second, because I don't know if Brady and Belichick had that, but AFC, 9-time Pro Bowler,
Yeah.
has.
He's starting this year.
He's starting this year. Had the highest winning percentage head coach and player in 10 years, in their first 10 years in NFL history. Had, so it's not going anymore.
Right.
Older quarterback.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, 9-time Pro Bowler, obviously. I'll play one more time just for the audience so they can get another listen. You can listen too.
Hey, alert. Look. Hey, roll it back. Blue 80. Run, shot.
I hear it. At the very end, I'm obviously looking at the name, but I can hear a little bit of it. The name does match up to the voice.
I don't know who it is.
Take a guess. AFC quarterback. 9-time Pro Bowler, so he's generally a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Take a wild guess. Just think about great quarterbacks.
I know. I'm blanking. I can't think who it is.
I'll give you the division. AFC West.
AFC West.
Yeah, that should kill it instantly because I think 3 out of
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Once
Should've
again,
known
old
that.
picture,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting. We actually have a whole nother setup for the next time we play. So I think I have 5 or 6 more quarterbacks. I actually have it here.
I didn't do too well.
Let's see who we got. We have 6 more quarterbacks, and off the top of my head, you could probably get most of them.
Yeah, you think
If
so?
not all,
I didn't
yeah.
do so hot this time.
Yeah, I think you got like 2 out of 5. So,
Okay.
no, it definitely is hard to
is hard,
get, but it's time now for our Week 5 predictions. Of course, I believe you start, as always. You start us off here with your Week 5 prediction.
All right. Well, I lost first game.
You did.
I can't. The Colts. I don't know what to say. I can't pick that one right. Their games at all so far this year. So that's too bad. I feel bad about that. But I like Green Bay over New York. They're playing at home. New York's doing well. They're 3-1. That's I think a lot of people are surprised about that. They have a great running back in Saquon Barkley. Not such a great quarterback in Daniel Jones, and he's on one leg this week. If he
is
plays.
playing, though. No, he is playing.
He's going to play,
Yes.
but we'll see. I just think the Green Bay's too tough for the Giants. I don't think they'll win,
That's fair.
and I think they'll beat the point spread too. Yeah. Okay, I like the Chargers over the Browns. I just don't like the Browns. It's number 1, and I do think the Chargers have a very good team. Justin Herbert is showing that he can be an elite quarterback, and their defense has some Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. That's a nice 1-2 punch. It'd be too much for the Browns. I like the Vikings over the Bears just because the Bears aren't very good. And, that's the black and blue division. That's a division game. The Vikings are at home. They won a close one in London last week. I think they keep it going, and I think they beat the point spread. Washington is just terrible. I'm sorry. It's just not very good. It's disappointing because I like
is.
Ron Rivera. I think he's a good coach. His defense isn't showing up either. And Carson Wentz, I don't know what they're going to do about him. He's proving again that he's not very good. So I think Tennessee gets the win, right? They won last week. So I think they keep it going. So, and the point spread's okay with me. The Jaguars, they're showing that they're a pretty good team, right? They've played close in every game, and they've won quite a few. What are they, 2-2 now?
I think they are 2-2.
And Houston, they probably wind up maybe with a first draft pick. They're competitive in the games.
They are.
And they're going to upset somebody here pretty soon, but I don't think it's this week. I think the Jaguars win.
That's fair.
Yeah. This next one's a close one, I think, because Seattle is not a great team. That's for sure, but neither are the Saints, although the Saints played pretty well against the Vikings in London.
Yep.
And Andy Dalton had a very good game, right?
And Andy Dalton will be starting.
He'll be starting
Jameis
again.
Winston and Michael Thomas are both out for this
Mike
game.
Thomas being out is not good for the Saints. I think it'll be close, but I think Seattle's going to beat them. I'm always going to pick the Bucs this year because I like Tom Brady, and I just think the Falcons, even though they've been pretty competitive so far, I think against the Bucs at home, and the Bucs have lost 2 in a row, I think they'll demolish the Falcons this week. I'm picking the Miami over the Jets, even though Tua won't be in there, and rightfully so. He deserves a few weeks off after they mismanaged his concussion. So Zach Wilson will be the starter for the Jets. He won the game last week, but I think it was lucky to win, right?
Absolutely.
And this is at the Jets. I think the Dolphins, they got a great offense, and Teddy Bridgewater is no slouch.
No, he's respectable.
And he's respectable. So, and he came out. He wasn't expecting to play last week, so now he's had the reps with the first string in practice. I think he'll have a great game, and I think the Miami will win against the Jets. Buffalo, I think they're on a mission. Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett, what's his name?
Kenny Pickett.
Pickett is getting his first start. Tough game to start against the Buffalo, right?
Absolutely.
Really tough. The point spread, 14 points. I'm probably going to cover that. So I like Buffalo to win. I think the Patriots, they got to win this game, right? They're 1-3 right now. They got to get back to 2-3 at least here.
Bailey Zappi will be the starter. Mac Jones was listed as doubtful. Bailey Zappi will probably be the starter. And for the Lions, it looks like DeAndre Swift will be out, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable to play in this game. He's their number one.
Yeah. Well, Bailey Zappi, I am not very confident he's going to do well. That's tough. I hope Mac Jones is a late Bailey's a late scratch, and they put Mac Jones in there. So I'm picking the Patriots. I think it'll be close. The Lions have a good offense, right? But the Patriots have a decent defense. I mean, they played well against Green Bay last week. San Francisco, they could be going to the Super Bowl this year. Jimmy G looking good. Carolina looking bad. Poor Baker Mayfield has not shown up really yet this year. So I like San Francisco. The Eagles, I'm not crazy about them. I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts, but they look great so far, right?
Only undefeated team left in the NFL.
Only undefeated team, and but they're playing I think the Cardinals they're a competitive team, and they could beat Philadelphia, but not this week. I think the Philadelphia wins and covers the point spread. The Rams. Wow. They play pretty poorly.
I will say this. These are the odds. Fox Bet as of yesterday, October 6th. The point spread has moved down for the Rams to 5 points, -5.
Yeah.
So, I guess Denver, not Denver.
I think it's
Dallas
possible Dallas could win this game because Cooper Rush, he's undefeated in his NFL starts, right? So, but I think the Rams are going to find a way to win this game. I don't think Dallas is as strong a team as some people think, and I think they're going to have a tough time making the playoffs when push comes to shove. So I think the Rams they played poorly recently. I think they snap out of it and beat Dallas in this game. And then the Bengals and the Ravens. I'm picking the Bengals. They're bouncing back now. They went to the Super Bowl last year. This is going to be a close one, though, because I think Lamar is he's first class. He didn't have such a great game last week, but the coaching staff let him down. They should have kicked that field goal at the end there instead of putting the ball in his hands and trying to get a touchdown there on 4th down. So I think this will be a close one. I might be wrong on this one, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. Kansas City and the Raiders. Kansas City beats them easily. The Raiders, I don't think are much of a team. Coaching staff, not that good. They should have stuck with the coach they had last year. He took them to the playoffs. Now they got Josh McDaniel, and I understand there was some meetings with him. There was last week. Closed-door meetings about, come on, buddy, get your act together. You're out of here.
And they did win, though.
They won. They won one
game. Put
up
32 points.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, we actually, on our schedules this week, we agree a lot.
Yeah.
We only have I think, like, what? Let me take a look at this. Off the top of my head, I think we have 3 changes, and that's it. The first one being starting off 1-0. 1-0 in the spread and in the win category.
Congratulations.
Good for me as always. I have the Giants covering because, yes, this is technically a neutral field. This is a London game. We saw how the Packers defense fared against the run last week against the Patriots. The Patriots were able to run the ball efficiently enough so it wasn't all on Bailey Zappi. And you know what? Bailey Zappi, third-string quarterback, didn't play bad really at all. He did what his job was, and that's not turn the ball over a lot, and that's just to hand the ball off. And that should be what Daniel Jones' job is, and maybe they can win this game. Saquon right now is the leading rusher in the NFL. My guess would be is the best quarterback in the NFL. Best quarterback. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL right now. It's close between him and what's his face? Him and Nick Chubb, both of them are pretty much neck and neck. Who's the best running back in the NFL? So I'll give it to Saquon right now. I do think the Packers win this, but the Giants do cover. I think this is a closer game than what people are thinking. Next one, Chargers Browns. I think just the Chargers are a significantly better team. Even being banged up, they're still able to get a big win, a needed win over the Texans last week. I believe they were part of my Harvey hot hand last week. So good for them. They had a 5-point spread last week. They were able to cover that, and I think they beat up on the Browns this week. The Bears are terrible. Justin Fields, I think he's throwing like 17 throws a game. You're a quarterback. Throw more than that. That's your job.
They won't let him.
They let him. I mean, their running back was beaten up.
Own plays, right?
I know, but still, you're a quarterback.
He's unhappy, right? He's voiced displeasure about being on the Bears.
There have been rumors that he's voicing.
He looks
displeasure.
Unhappy sitting over there on the bench too.
Well, his team's terrible. What do you expect from him?
Yeah, well, he's not that great either.
Yeah, he's not that great. He got a pretty lucky win in a monsoon against the 49ers in Week 1. So. I'll take the Vikings to win. I think the Vikings are a better team. They still got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't throw like 3 interceptions, they'll be okay. I'm surprised by the Titans. The Titans are decent at least. I'm not gonna say they're great, but I'm not gonna say they're bad either. But if you talk about bad teams, the Commanders definitely fit into that category. The Commanders are bad. Carson Wentz is bad. They do have a receiver, though, that is tied for the most touchdown receptions in the league with, I believe, 4. So you got to give him that. But I would gladly take the Titans to win. Derrick Henry seems to be, doing something now. I'm impressed with how Derrick Henry's been playing. I'll take the Titans to beat the Commanders and cover the 2-point spread. Next one. The battle of what everyone thought would be the battle of bad teams turns out to be the battle of the Jaguars comeback story. Doug Peterson, I'm going to say it, is doing it again. They went up, I believe, 14-0 against the Eagles last week, and they just completely fell apart. Trevor Lawrence, 5 turnovers in the game, 4 fumbles, I believe. It might have been 5 fumbles and an interception. He had an interception, and he also, I think he had actually a pick 6, but he also had he also had 5 fumbles, so he had problems holding on to the ball. I don't think we'll see the same problems here. The Texans, I think this could be a decent matchup, but I just think the Jaguars are a significantly better team, so I'll take them to win. The Seahawks. This one's a tough one because Geno Smith right now is playing very, very efficient football. Surprisingly efficient football.
Playing better than Russell Wilson.
Absolutely. So right now, that trade deal looks like,
it's a good
the Seahawks traded away a lemon and got back, like a huge...
guy who was over the hill.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll take the Seahawks to win here. I think the Saints right now are a little bit beaten up without your starting quarterback, Jameis Winston. Andy Dalton, he's a great replacement for Jameis Winston, but is he a great quarterback in the NFL? Well, there's a reason he's a backup and not starting, and I think we'll see that. Michael Thomas, your wide receiver 1, won't be there. Jarvis Landry is also dealing with an injury. He may also not play. I believe he's out for this game. And you're going to be stuck with Chris Olave being your wide receiver 1, a rookie. I just don't see them being that productive. I see the Seahawks winning this game and obviously covering the 5.5 spread for them being underdogs. I have a Harvey hot hand alert for this game. The Bucks and Falcons are part of my Harvey hot hand, and this game, I said it, I believe, in the last show. I think Brady's going to have a phenomenal game. I think it was either be a very, very bad game or a very, very good game. I'm going to err on the side of Tom Brady's hyper focus and Psycho Tom, as it's called, and I'm going to say he's going to have a very, very good game. I think the Bucks blow out the Falcons. I believe I have the score like 41-24. I think, you know what? They're out. Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is out for this game. So on offense, they have Drake London, a rookie, and who? Exactly. Cordell Patterson's injured. He's on the IR. So they essentially have no one on offense. So I could see, a decent amount of turnovers, mainly being interceptions in this game. But Tom Brady's going to do Tom Brady things. I believe he's 9-0 or 10-0 against the Falcons in his career. I don't see him picking up an L. I do see the Bucs absolutely dominating the football game against the Atlanta Falcons. New York football. I'm eking out the last drops of New York football that I have left in the rag of New York. But you know what? The Dolphins and Jets seems to always have, relatively good games. And I think, yes, you're right. Teddy Bridgewater is replacing Tua, and you know what? Teddy Bridgewater is a perfectly fine backup. He's not a bad quarterback at all. But I just think the Jets right now, and especially Zach Wilson, he knows that he hasn't played great, especially the beginning of his rookie year. I think he's going to be out here to prove something. And, the Jets did benefit from Kenny Pick'em, meaning he threw his only 3 incompletions were interceptions. So I think, they might catch a break on Kenny Pick'em, yeah. So I just think, I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater can get it done because Teddy Bridgewater's arm strength ain't phenomenal. We saw it on that long pass. It got there. It was a rainbow throw, and it was easily intercepted in the Bengals game. So I think the Jets do get a very, very close win here, but I say they still get the win. I have a little bit of faith in the Jets. There is no way in hell I'm picking a +10 spread. I did that the last time with the Packers. They had like a 10.5 spread, and the Patriots were able to cover. I'm not choosing the Bills to go to win by more than 14 points. I think the Steelers have a little bit of dignity. And last year, I believe there was the Steelers-Bills opening.
They don't have T.J. Watt.
I know, I understand that. But the Steelers opened against the Bills, I believe, and the Steelers were able to actually get a win against the Bills. I'm not saying they win. I do think the Steelers can cover against the Bills. 14 points we're talking about. That's over 2 touchdowns the Bills need to win by in order to cover. I just don't see it happening. So I'll take the Steelers to cover the 14 points. Patriots. I have an ounce of faith left in them. They are 1-3. The offense does look to be in shambles, but that defense, I think, could carry them in this game. The one problem with the Seahawks and with the Lions is their defenses. Each defense does not play great, and the Lions gave up 48 points to Geno Smith. I think I believe the Seahawks had 2 receivers that got over 150 yards receiving. It was, or maybe over 100 yards, something like that. But it was ridiculous. So I think the Patriots do win here. I think they go back to that run game.
How's the Lions running against the run?
I believe they're slightly below average.
Yeah.
So
because the Patriots are going to be running it a lot if Zappy's in there.
Right. I think they're going to stick to the more of the way they beat the Bills, just strictly running the football. This one, Jimmy G's in there. I can't bet against my man Jimmy G, especially against Baker Mayfield.
You didn't like Jimmy G.
I didn't like Jimmy G because he's not a phenomenal quarterback.
No.
He's not top 10.
That's not what it means. It's whether you win or lose.
Exactly, and that's the one thing I've always said about Jimmy G.
He's a winner.
He could somehow win football games against great teams. So, and especially against the Panthers, who look horrible. Especially Baker Mayfield, who looks terrible. But you have Ben McAdoo as his offensive coordinator. And McAdoo's only head coaching stint with the Giants, he got fired after a single year. So I guess
No, he didn't.
Yes,
he made the playoffs one year. Ben McAdoo.
Should I talk about Pat Shurmur?
No, but no.
McAdoo's terrible.
Ben
McAdoo's
McAdoo
terrible.
made the playoffs one year with
What
the
year?
Giants. Then he got fired.
What year?
The next
2016?
year. I'm not
2016?
sure which year it was, but he did make the playoffs with the
As the head coach of the New York
as
Football
head coach
Giants.
of the Giants. You check it out. Yeah,
I
he was
don't
there
believe
more
that.
than 1 year.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna look that up right now. But regardless, I'll still take the 49ers to win this game. I just think Jimmy G is really good. You saw that against the Rams. He plays very, very well against the Rams. So I'll gladly take the 49ers over the Panthers in this one. Eagles-Falcons battle, or not Eagles-Cardinals battle of the birds. I will take the Eagles here. The Eagles are the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. They look really, really good. So I really just can't pick against them at the moment just because of how good they're playing. They came back. It was a great comeback against the Jaguars last week. So I'm impressed with the Eagles thus far. So I will take them to win over the Cardinals, who don't look that good, who do not look that good at all. But you know what? They're not doing too badly. So I can't hate on them for being who they are, which is not a great team. I don't know what exactly happened to the slideshow. I think I have it right here. Yeah, sorry. Let's move on to the next one. Rams, after getting absolutely humiliated by the 49ers, the question mark is between Dallas's defense, the comparison between Dallas's defense and the 49ers defense. Because the 49ers did absolutely amazing against what I say is not a great Rams offensive line. So, I mean, I'll take a look at this. Can Micah Parsons and that interior defensive line of the Cowboys do something against the Rams? Potentially. Do I think it'll be that much? No, I don't. And you are correct. 2016, McAdoo was the head coach. So that's my mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I looked it up now, and if I'm not mistaken,
He was horrible after that.
He was. He didn't even finish the next year. So he made it to the playoffs, and the Giants gave up on him after.
Benched Eli Manning when he took him, so he didn't make the consecutive game record there,
right.
And so that was bad. Yeah.
Giants fans did not like that,
No.
for sure.
It's not fair to Eli.
No, it wasn't at all. But let's keep it going right now. Rams, I just think they got to do something. I mean, Trayvon Diggs, can he shut down Cooper Kupp? Maybe. I'm not sure. Will Matthew Stafford keep my prediction about him, keep my judgment of him being consistently inconsistent alive? Maybe. But I just think, you know what, the Rams here, I do think the Rams get the win.
They're at home.
They are at home, yep. And so I just think, it's a 5-point spread. We say 5.5, so we're going to stick with it. 5.5 points, but I do think they cover by about a touchdown or so. There's one reason why I am picking the Bengals, and it is this only reason. So if it doesn't come true in the first quarter and a half of this game, means the Ravens will probably win. But the one thing I'm harking on is that the Ravens have they have the worst 32nd ranked passing defense in the league right now. And when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as your 1 and 2 receivers, I think Joe Burrow will have a field day against this Ravens secondary. The Ravens secondary is young. They're dealing with injuries on the secondary. Mm-hmm. I think as long as this offensive line, which should be upgraded, which they picked up players.
How is the Ravens pass rush?
Not great.
They don't have many sacks.
Not great. The entire defense
because that could offset
great.
the passing.
It could be, but you know what? If you get a lot of under routes, you know what, be able to beat that coverage. Yeah. I believe the Ravens do have a top 10 rushing defense, however, so you might have that against them. You know, if you try to run the ball with Joe Mixon, you might not have a lot of luck. But I will take the Bengals here. I just think Joe Burrow throwing to Jamar Chase. You know what? Marcus Peters, will he be on him? I'm not sure. The matchups here favor the Bengals, I believe. And I just think, you know what? If the defense could contain Lamar and stop him from running, I think his passing game ain't what it should be if you become one-dimensional. If you can only pass the ball, I don't think Lamar can only pass the ball.
I'm not sure they can stop his running. I mean,
if you can, because
nobody has yet.
Well, the Bills did a pretty good job.
Well, the Bills have the best defense in the league, probably.
I'm saying, if you can contain...
Patriots couldn't stop him.
They put so many hands on Lamar, but just couldn't hang on to him.
I know.
They touched Lamar a lot.
He's
no,
elusive.
He is. But I will take the Bengals to win here because I just think the passing defense, I think this could be a shootout. I really do think this could be a shootout. It's not a part of my Harvey hot hand, I don't believe. But I will take the Bengals to win here. And like you said, the Chiefs, what they did to the Bucs was an absolute embarrassment. The Raiders right now don't look good. They don't look good at all. So I think this could be an absolute, explosion of a game. I think Patrick Mahomes puts up like 4 touchdowns maybe, shooting for probably 350 yards, something like that. He's going to have a great game, I think, because he usually does against the Raiders. I think he had 1 loss 2 years ago or last year, but I just don't think Mahomes, he might go into a mechanics slump, which he has over the past couple years. He goes on like these 6-7 game streaks of him just, his mechanics being horrible. I don't think it starts. I don't think it starts in this game. So I do have the Chiefs winning and covering the 7-point spread. You have any problems with any of my picks at all?
No, because they're most of the same ones I have.
That's true. The things we changed around.
I have a few differences.
The Jets I have winning. You have the Miami winning. Steelers I have covering. You don't. And then the Giants I should have it here. Yeah, the Giants.
Cover.
The Giants do cover for me. You say they don't, and I believe that's it. Yeah, no, that is. Oh, and then the Broncos anyway. But who cares about that?
Yeah.
All right, so now it's going to be the fifth rendition, the 5th installment of the Harvey Hot Hand. As always, you know how this works. I make picks, basically the teams you should bet on if you are sports betting to cover the spread. The first one I have here, the Chargers covering over the Browns. The fact that this is 2.5, I think, is a disrespect to Justin Herbert, who consistently throws 300-yard games and looks really, really good. Yes, the offensive line is crippled, and you're playing against Myles Garrett, but I just think, yes, the slight problem I have here is that the Jaguars can run the ball pretty well against the Chargers, and you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield against this Chargers defense. I do think they play a little bit better on the run game. I think Justin Herbert is able to get the win, and I think the Chargers do end up getting this win here. And basically, I think they play pretty well for the way this is going. I have them winning 31-24 over the Browns. Next one, I do have the Bills winning here, but I have the Steelers covering the 14-point spread.
Not by much.
Not by much. I think this is 13 points. So yes, the Bills do get the big win here, but they don't cover a 14-point spread. We're talking about 14 points here. So the Bills need to win by more than 14 points in order to cover the spread. It is ridiculous. This is an absurd spread. This is the largest deficit the Steelers have had in their history. They have never been 14-point or more underdogs in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. They are right now. Kenny Pickett, 2 of those interceptions weren't his fault. 1 was. I think, you know what, they'll probably stick to Najee Harris, but the Bills have a great defense. They do have a great defense. I just think the Bills do get a big win here. I just think the Steelers can keep it within 14. I do have the Bills winning, though, 34-21. Next one. A close game, like I said. A close game, but I do think the Seahawks do get the win here, 27-23, and cover the 5.5 spread. The Seahawks offense looks pretty good. It's the defense that's the problem, but it's Andy Dalton without his top 2 receivers. Chris Olave, a rookie. Who knows how that's going? Alvin Kamara will be back in the game, so we'll see how that works out. But I still think this is relatively low scoring, I believe. It's around the average, I think. I think the average is about 22, 23 points a game. So I do think the Seahawks do get the win here and cover their underdogs. I do think they get the upset win here, 27-23. Like I said, blowout alert, ring the bell. Bucks winning 41-23 and covering the 9.5 spread as the favorites. Tom Brady dealing with stuff off the field. And I think when he gets on that football field, his mom was going through chemotherapy, and he goes out and wins and comes back from 28-3 and wins his 5th Super Bowl. He locks into the game, and people saying, well, the defense is Super Bowl 51. Well, he needs to convert, doesn't he? Yes, they might get turnovers, but you need to convert. You need to make the plays to win the game. Tom Brady's going to lock in here, and he is going to play his ass off. I think they are destructive here. I think the Bucs go out, get this huge win here. The Falcons are down their top 2 talents, Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson. They're going to be dealing with Drake London as their wide receiver 1, most likely. So Marcus Mariota, yeah, he keeps him in games, but that's mostly due to Cordell Patterson putting up like 150-yard rushing games. And it's like over 100 yards, being efficient. They don't have him right now. And I think the Bucs defense, after being humiliated, they get some motivation to absolutely whoop up on a team. And Brady is 10-0 or 9-0. I'm not sure the exact record. We're just going to say 10-0 against these Falcons. So I think the Bucs win 41-23 and cover the 9.5 spread. And I believe this is the last one. Like I said, close game. Very close game. I think if you can run the ball efficiently, keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands, especially when you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback and Saquon as your running back, I think you can keep this game close. I do think the Giants do keep it close, but lose 24-21. Packers do get the win. Giants cover the spread. I believe that's it, though. Yeah, that's it. So, another episode of the Harvey Hour in the books for me and you, Dad.
Yep.
Great show today. We'll be back on Tuesday for recaps of all these games. Sunday night, Sunday, just throughout the day, and Monday Night Football as well. NBA season starts up in about a week or two. Baseball playoffs is coming up. We have a lot coming up on the Harvey Hour in the next couple episodes here. But, tune in. We have a lot planned for the show. But yeah, my name's Nathan Harvey. That's Stephen Harvey. Thank you for joining me as always. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Harvey Hour. So that'll wrap it up. See you guys Tuesday.